Hello, welcome to Two Limes and a Lemon. This week we're dusting off our Pokeballs, topping off our potions and taking a nostalgic journey back to 1999 for Pokemon the first movie.
Are we having theme music? Like, how do we... Is it just start with us talking?
Yeah, Dave's gonna do us some like a jingle, I think.
Dave.
Nah.
Danielle.
Two Limes
and a Lemon.
Hello everyone. So I am your host this lovely podcast and I'm joined with Nat and Danielle. Say Pikachu, guys.
Pikachu.
That's right. But before we start even talking about the film, if you're listening, could we just on the comment section, just say hello. Give us a little shout out. Say hello. What you're doing. Where are you listening? Are you in your car? Are you at home? Are you laying in bed going to sleep? Just a little comment.
God, imagine listening to our cackle when you're going to sleep.
Yeah. Good night. Yeah.
But we're on Instagram. We're on TikTok now.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube. Let us know you're out there listening.
We're not in the void of space. We're here. We're here to listen. That's right. We're talking about the cinematic debut of Ash and Pikachu, and the legendary clone with the most dramatic telepathic dialogue in history, Mewtwo. So yeah, we're looking at Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. So expect some deep lore.
Is that actually what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Yeah, there were two titles.
So yeah, we're gonna look about the movie and see what happens. Maybe we'll talk about the emotion. We'll have an emotional analysis of the scene involving Pikachu slapping the other one. We never know. So grab your ticket to Viridian City, load up your Poker Snacks, and let's find out if this movie is truly super effective or it's just a critical miss. So before we take our Pokemon journey, we want to know what you've been up to.
That was a great segue in.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks. So yeah, Nat, what have you been up to this week?
I watched the movie The Monkey, which is relatively new.
Ooh.
With Theo James. It's a horror film based around one of those wind-up monkeys that usually have cymbals, but this one had a drum. And if you twist the key on the back, somebody will die, but not the person that twists it. But you can't control who it is that dies.
Oh.
And yeah, it was alright. I mean, I think the first probably 75% of it was really good, and the last bit wasn't as compelling, but I really enjoyed it. Have either of you seen it?
You jumped the gun a bit because
I know, because Elijah Wood's in it. I know. I didn't realise that when I watched it, and then as soon as he appeared, I was like, no, I'm going to have to watch this again at some point to refresh my memory.
Quick, make notes. Yeah. But that's way down the line.
It's a good while before we'll be
many treasures of Elijah Wood to go through. Yeah,
Elijah Wood is still 10 years old in our timeline.
I would like to also say that he's probably in that movie about the same as he was in Internal Affairs. This did have some funny, almost Final Destination-esque deaths, which are always fun.
It's definitely one of those horror fan movies where, you're just watching how they up the ante on how somebody gets killed creatively. What effects are they going to use? What ridiculous scenario is going to happen for the next person to get killed? I've been binge watching a series called Psych, but it was at this time when they had this series of light comedy weekly mystery shows. And so Psych is the story of this guy who is kind of a goof off, but he's super perceptive. He's Sherlock Holmes level observant. And so he pretends to be a psychic and works with the police department to solve crimes. There's 100 and some episodes, so I've just kind of been putting that on in the background when I'm doing crafts or, or having dinner or whatever.
I'm going to go with the video game Indica. You play as a little lovely nun who is looked down upon by the whole town, and it's snowing. Any game with snow, I'm all for if there's a bit of and then I'm like, I've got to check out the snow physics. I've got to walk around, draw a circle.
It's a really good game. My issue with it is it doesn't save very often. So if you want to like just drop in and out of it, it's really difficult to do. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I've got half an hour. I could put it on, but I'm like, really, you need to have like a good hour because you might not even get a save point in that time.
Speaking of video games, then we're looking at the video game, obviously Pokemon turned into a movie. Did any of you two play the Pokemon games, or if you did play a Pokemon game, which was your first?
I didn't play any Pokemon games until I watched the animated series. I have since played one, which I believe was X and Y. But Pokemon's not really my thing.
My only experience knowing of a Pokemon game is that thing people had on their phones 5 or 6 years ago that everybody was going crazy about.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, and I had a roommate.
I think that brought it back a bit, didn't it?
Mm.
I think
Pokemon Go brought that back.
Could be.
Like they brought back like people who used to play those games.
Yeah, back into like the public eye a bit more.
Yeah, because me and Nat, we played Pokemon Go.
But I had a roommate that
all about it though.
I had this roommate that we would like plan to go out to eat somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, let's go here because there's a Pokemon gym near there." And I was like, "Oh, great."
So my first experience with Pokemon was when I was a young little boy in primary school, and I think I was getting ready for school, and we put on Sky One, and there was Pokemon. I had no idea what it was. I think I didn't even know what anime was at that time, so it was a completely different style of cartoon. And it had Ash versus Misty for the Cerulean Gym badge. But there was no Pokemon out. There was a Pikachu, but that was it. And they were talking about how they were going to battle. And I was like, what? They're like, there's a swimming pool. They're going to battle. What's going on? And I was like really confused, but like hyped for it. And then they get out these Pokemon, and I was like, oh, okay. And then like introduced to Staryu, which is like that Pokemon looks like a little starfish. It just goes, yeah.
Yeah, like the deepest voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Staryu's in the film as well, which is great.
He is.
Makes an appearance.
So you would rather that they beat each other than use Pokemon? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was like, oh, they're going to battle. I thought they're like laser beams and stuff, but it was like, no, we use Pokemon.
I'm gonna hold off, but I'm so lost in this conversation right now, and my notes for this film are just all questions. And so once you get through your history, we can load in on my questions about Pokemon in general.
I mean, I remember the kids having the cards at school and they got banned. That was like apart from watching the TV show, that was my only other experience at that age of Pokemon, just that kids had like trading cards of them and then they got banned from school because kids were more interested in that than lessons.
Yeah, I remember a head teacher came in, I think it was year 6, and he was like, so the Pokemon cards are all banned, so if you've got any Pokemon cards, go get them and bring them to me now. And then the teacher knew that some kids had them, but she didn't know I did.
Yeah.
But I was too scared to be like hiding them, so I went all the way in my bag, and they were like, "No, David, you know, like they don't know you've got them." And I had to hand over my like treasured like shiny Charizard. That's probably worth so much.
You're a little good boy.
And then obviously, and then when they gave them all back, they didn't give mine back. So I had to, so I had to go to the principal, the head teacher, and be like, "Yeah, I didn't get my Pokemon cards back." And he was like, "Fine," and he had to like go get them and stuff. It was really awkward because I'm like the good
he
kid.
definitely knew you had like that shiny Charizard, and he was gonna pour it
I
off.
know, right?
Can I start my questions? So
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is
Daniel.
each
Segue
Pokemon
to just
a
Danielle interrupting everyone. So can I get to my question?
I would like to join the conversation, but I don't understand things.
Okay, go for it.
Each
All right, is this
is
about the
each
movie or was it just about Pokemon first?
just about Pokemon? Is a Pikachu? Is that its name, or is that a species? Are there other Pikachus?
That's a species. There are other Pikachus.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Next
my first question.
Is that it? Is that your?
Question one,
That was your only question. I've got all these questions.
That is right.
Is Pikachu a species,
Yeah.
or is it just the one? There's multiple Pikachus. Yeah, it evolves.
But he can evolve from Pikachu into a different species. Like,
Okay.
is it a
Yeah.
Raichu?
It is a Raichu, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that was.
Does he start as a Pichu?
Yeah, but that's like generations on. But we only knew it as Pikachu at the time.
What came first? Movie, game, show, cards?
game,
I think
right?
it was the video game. Yeah, I think the video game was out in Japan first, and then that just went mad, and then they made the show, and then the show came to us, and then the video game turned up. Let me just quick sum up what the story's about. So Ash, Pokemon trainer, he's with his friends having a lovely picnic, and then he finds out about Mewtwo holding some kind of is it a tournament or something like that. He's the strongest Pokemon trainer, and he's challenging all these Pokemon trainers to beat him in a battle. Obviously, before that, you've got all this whole Mewtwo clone. Yeah, he's a clone of Mew, this rarest Pokemon. He doesn't know who he wants. He doesn't know who he is. And it's all about, for me, I feel like Mewtwo is the Thanos of the Pokemon world. He's kind of like, it's very much all about him.
What is life?
It's his life.
Yeah.
Who is he? What is
born.
life? Yeah, he didn't ask for this.
Yeah, he didn't ask for it. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone he's come across has just treated him like rather a specimen or used him. So his view on the world is very negative, and he just wants to destroy it and just, can we just have a world full of clones, please? And that's it. So that's kind of like the story, and he brings Ash involved and other Pokemon trainers to sort of just get their best Pokemon so he can clone them for his own army to take over the world and destroy it. So that's essentially the premise of the movie.
But for him to actually invite everybody to this like island that he's made, they cut out the scene where he's like writing all these little letters to people to be like, please come to my island. Yeah. With his little bud fingers.
Well, they also cut out something I would have liked to have seen is he at some point kidnaps this nurse and
oh yeah,
and has her hypnotized. But
yeah.
I mean, that would have been an interesting scene.
Yeah.
Because, like, you thought, Nat, that the whole film was going to be, like, an adventure around different places. But when you found out it was all set in this, like, one island, you were like...
Yeah,
really
it's literally set the whole movie in a stadium. And I was disappointed because I'm like, there's more locations in a half-an-hour episode of Pokemon than the first movie where you had them sitting in a nice location for a picnic for about 5 minutes. And then the rest of it was all in this, like, stadium, basically. So I feel like they could have done a bit more.
There was an on the seas.
That went on for a while, didn't it?
Oh, getting to the island. Yeah, I do remember at one point saying, like, this is dragged on a bit.
I swear I see the same shots over and over again, and then just coming out of the water.
It's just like reusing shots.
See, it surprises me. It surprises me that this was a film in theaters, because this felt like a 2-part finale to a TV series. Like, it felt like
100%.
It felt like I missed the first part of the season that set up what this world was and who these characters are, and we, start. It reminded me of, like, on Doctor Who, whenever they make like a big baddie and then have like a 3-episode finale arc. Like Mewtwo is created.
They have like the one-off Christmas specials.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know who these things are or who Ash is. So what was your viewpoints of the Pokemon? Was you just like, what are they saying? Because Danielle, you've not really tapped into the Pokemon franchise before. So like, obviously you knew Pikachu, but like when you're seeing like, he's at the start when it's playing the main theme and he's fighting that guy.
I have like I can play dumb, but I have like a...
You have a basic knowledge of it.
basic knowledge that there's like, again, from this stupid phone game, that there's like these Pokeballs that they like throw out, and then there's all these creatures. I did know that they only said their own name. I didn't realize that what they actually say doesn't sound like their own name half the time. It just sounds like baby noises sometimes. It's just like...
Yeah. Some of them just like say the first bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Venusaur, yeah. And Blastoise, I don't think, says the whole thing, does he?
Blast. Yeah.
And then, then there's the weird cat, and he talks, but he's a...
Oh, that's Meowth.
He's like a Pokemon, right?
Yeah, he
gets cloned.
Correct.
Yeah, he gets cloned.
So Dave told me like a backstory to Meowth, I think, because I asked the same question when we were watching the film. Because when he got cloned and then his clone couldn't talk, I was like, oh, I thought just all Meowths could talk.
No, so he learnt to speak there's a whole episode where you find out his backstory. He's like, because he's got that coin on his head, right? So all Meowths have the thing called payday, where they can just make money, but Meowth can't make money because he learnt to speak instead, and that's like his tragic backstory.
Well, he's teamed up with this like Team Rocket group.
Yeah, that's right.
And I didn't understand their motivation. They're just like,
so they want to steal Pikachu is like the main motivation for them in the series.
Because they're just like stalking.
I don't know why.
Yeah, they're like stalking in the background, and they go through this like elaborate hoax of pretending to be Vikings to take Ash.
Did you like
and
that
his
joke?
team
Yeah, can we talk about
to
that
the-
joke? Team Rocket come in disguised as like Vikings, right? And then like Brock's like, I didn't know Vikings were still around, and then like Ash goes like, yeah, they mostly live in Minnesota, which is like a joke. No British kid understood that joke because they're like,
I thought that.
yeah. So I remember like,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, I still didn't get it at this age now. I was like, what?
Is that some sort of rugby team or football
No,
team?
no.
It's like, it's a
the
baseball team.
I was going to say country. The state of Minnesota has a large like Swedish population. There's a lot of like Swedish immigrants, and so they have like a lot of Swedish traditions.
Oh,
Minnesota.
Dave told me it was because there was like a baseball team or like a NFL team or whatever that was called the Vikings. That's what I was told.
Probably because there is a team, there is the Minnesota Vikings, but I think it's probably because they have, this tradition.
Oh, okay. Well, now I don't know either, but
Do you think the whole cloning identity theme and dark, like, philosophical origin stories of like, who am I, what is life, is a bit heavy for like 10-year-olds to be watching?
no, not really.
No?
I don't think it was too heavy for 10-year-olds. I think
Because he was.
with what shows are like nowadays, I don't think that was particularly heavy back then. My question about the whole cloning thing is, I don't know what difference it made for him to clone the same Pokemon and then eliminate the real
I
ones.
think just to know that they're
I don't-
clones, I think.
They literally were exactly the same, so it didn't really do anything. It was a bit pointless, in my opinion. My issue with Pokemon is that like I really want to understand the infrastructure of the Pokemon universe, in that kids don't go to school, all the adults don't have proper jobs by the looks of it. Like, there's only like a policewoman and a nurse that we've like professors, but everything is all to do with Pokemon.
Yeah.
All people can talk about is Pokemon.
In the games, that's all
like-
they talk about, right? You go up to someone.
Yeah, like if you go
Yeah.
and speak to any of the NPCs, they're just like, I like this Pokemon. And it's like, everyone's a bit brainwashed by Pokemon. It's like, how old is Ash meant to be? And he's
Yeah.
out on his own, fending for
Yeah.
himself.
Well, he's 10. Brock's like 14, 13.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 40. I thought, well, that's inappropriate. Although Brock is flirting with all the adult women.
Yeah, so that's
Right?
his
So
thing.
So that's like a running theme. Yeah, in the series especially, every town, well, pretty much every episode, they go to a town and he manages to find somebody that he particularly likes. But usually it's Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny, who obviously you kind of picked up in the film maybe that they all look the same. They're a bit like Pokemon,
yeah,
I
you
suppose.
don't, yeah. So the
In that
nurse,
there's-
the nurse and the police officer, they're the same. They're all sisters, aren't they? They all look the same.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there's like, I don't
Thousands of
know,
them.
hundreds of these like Nurse Joys and Officer Jennys that are all over the place.
So strange. I will say cloning in the Pokemon film happened a lot more rapidly than Jurassic Park. So like the Jurassic Park people should get a hold of the Pokemons to
Yeah.
figure out how to rapidly clone.
Was there any scenes that stood out to you, Danielle, that you're like, oh, this is good, or I like this bit?
Not really.
No, I think for me, there's this one shot where the Wigglytuff one, which is the pink one with the bunny ears, and it's like, and it's panicking, it's crying almost. It gets caught, and it like hard cuts to Mewtwo, and he's got like this smirk on his face, like, got that Wigglytuff.
My favourite scene was when Pikachu was running away from all the Pokeballs, because I don't like Pikachu. He's a bit of a, like, I don't know. Like, the thing in the series is that all the other Pokemon go into the Pokeballs, and he's like, no, I'm too good to go in a Pokeball. So he just walks around with Ash. So I'm going to be honest, when me and Dave watched it, I was cheering for the Pokeballs to get Pikachu because I was like, yeah, put that little guy in his place and get him in a Pokeball. So when he did get captured, I was like, yes, finally.
With my frame of reference, only really knowing Pikachu, because it's like the most merchandised Pokemon. Like, if you're not familiar with Pokemon, you've seen Pikachu and know the name. Oh, and then there was that Ryan Reynolds movie that came out, the Detective Pikachu, came out a few years ago too. I expected him to be stronger than, like, I thought he was like the mightiest of the Pokemon, and apparently that's Mew.
No, he's not really. He's just kind of bigged up. I don't really understand what everyone's fascination. Like, Team Rocket, I don't get. And the fact that everyone's like, oh, it's okay because Pikachu won't go. And he's like, he just gets a lot of like extra, I suppose, like attention that he doesn't deserve.
No, originally, this will mean nothing for you, Danielle, but Clefairy was going to be the mascot, if you remember Clefairy now at all.
Mm-hmm.
The
pink one.
The pink one, yeah. That was going to be Ash's first Pokemon, but they skipped it to Pikachu in the end. So, out of the Pokemon in the movie, which ones did you think you liked the most?
I like the Derpy Duck.
Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Yeah.
Why?
Psyduck.
Why Psyduck?
I don't know, he just looked derpy. It made me laugh. He's like a little cross-eyed. It looks like he's not actually got a bill. His bill is like a mask on his face.
Yeah. So he constantly has a headache. That's his...
Oh, and then there was the star that was in an eggshell that didn't do anything.
Oh, Togepi.
The star.
The star in an eggshell.
That's what we
yeah,
got
that's
to
the
call
one that's
him.
Misty.
We should get pictures
So
of.
he's another one that doesn't go in a ball, actually. He just gets carried around by Misty for all the series, pretty much.
Yeah. What about you now, out of this film? Any Pokemon that you
I
like?
mean, I've always liked Charizard when I used to watch the series, more because I just like the fact that he didn't really listen to Ash and just did his own thing. And I suppose I don't like Ash, maybe that's why I'm like saying that. But Charizard to me was always, I felt like he was the most powerful. I always felt like his episodes were better because when he did finally listen to Ash, you were like, oh, like he's got a respect for him now. So it felt like it was more earned. I think also it's because with Charizard, he has him from a Charmander, doesn't he?
That's right, yeah. He evolves.
Yeah, so you've kind of, by the time he gets to a Charizard, you've gone through like the episode where his flame's going to go out and Ash is all really sad because he thinks he's going to die and stuff. So by the time he gets to Charizard, you've had like all this history with him. Yeah. So that's probably why I like Charizard. But watching this film, I quite like Mew, actually.
What, the little thing?
The little thing that Mewtwo comes from. I quite liked him. He was quite cute. Like when he was following Team Rocket round when they were in the lab. And it's like, if they'd have just looked round, they could have had like one of the most powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, thrown a Pokeball. Just go back home. We found it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need Pikachu.
I didn't quite understand why. Like, he had been extinct for years, and then he just sort of bubbled up out of the ocean.
Yeah, he was just like in a bubble and came back. But why did he know to come back? Was that ever established?
Mewtwo Storm, maybe.
The movie has all of these very heavy-handed. Fighting is wrong. Fighting doesn't get you anything. Nobody wins in the end when you fight. And then they just wipe their memory, so they didn't retain any of that moral.
Yeah.
Or better go fight each other again.
We said that. Yeah, he wipes the memory, and so they've not learned anything. But also, they were like, Pokemon aren't supposed to fight like this, because they basically take away the fact that they're allowed to use their abilities, and they're just like slapping each other. But what's the difference between them fighting like that or using like a vine whip against each other? Like, fighting's fighting. It doesn't matter if you're using abilities or not.
Yeah, which they kind of learned, didn't they?
I don't get the point. Yeah, like they're like, oh, they shouldn't be fighting like this, but you literally are on like a pilgrimage to go to each place and get your Pokemon to beat the crap out of another Pokemon, so you get a badge for it. I also questioned the medical value of Pokemon tears because them crying obviously saved Ash, but maybe they shouldn't be like pitting them against each other. Maybe they should be like collecting Pokemon tears to maybe like cure some diseases.
Oh, yeah. But are there diseases in what world are they in? Is it Poke World? Is it Earth?
It's all named after like colours, isn't it?
Palette
Like
Town.
Palette Town.
I know that one.
It's like Viridian City.
Oh, is it?
The Indigo
Oh,
Land.
yeah, they are like, yeah.
Cerulean.
Cerulean, yeah. I never actually put that together.
But do you think as a kid you would have loved that film? Or would you have been like, I'm not
No.
interested?
No.
I don't think there was enough going on to have kept my attention as a child. And I watched the series, but I still don't think I would have been interested. It was like, in the series, the episodes that I found the most boring were the ones where they got to like the stadiums or the leagues. So for me, it was just a really long episode about that. That's what it felt like.
Because
just a fighting episode.
Not a lot really happens in it. They kind of just get to Mewtwo.
They get an invitation to go to an island. They go to the island. They don't even do anything like go to their rooms or check into a hotel. It's literally straight into the stadium. And that's the rest of the film. And then they go back to the docks at the end because they've had their memory wiped. So in terms of on the page, nothing happens. My other thing is that the police are like telling them like, no, it's not safe to go out. Like nobody should be going out in this storm. And they're all like, no, we're not going to listen to the police. Like maybe that's not a moral you should be telling children. And Dave tells me that there's one that dies because there's one that sets off, but they don't get to the island. Like they're not nowhere on the island. So somebody's in the sea somewhere.
So someone's flying on a big, is it not a spear, a Fero, and it's in the background, and it's not one of the trainers that get there, and you see them fly off, but you don't see them. There's no Fero in the.
Maybe they turn around.
Mew's Island. They maybe. Actually, I'm not going to
They
do
give
this.
up and they turn around.
I think when Mew was coming up out the sea, they should have had him going up and then her sinking at the same time. And that would have been a great scene.
So Fero struck by lightning, like help.
Yeah, but the obviously it's like 2D animation, but there's like hints of 3D animation dotted in it.
Oh, like the doors.
Yeah, like just randomly, they're like doors have to be 3D.
I don't know. I don't think it was too distracting. I think it was subtle.
The storm looked like a different animation style too.
That's true, yeah. But no, I don't think it was.
Did you feel like the animation's aged, or do you feel like it's like held up?
It definitely looks like 90s movie animation, kind of like when everything's got a bit extra shadow.
It's kind of fuzzy, isn't it? Like it's not like crisp, it feels like.
Yeah, it's like straight to video kind of. Okay, so I want to wrap this all up because I don't think there's much more we could talk about with Mewtwo. But any favourite characters that you liked?
Oh, I'll go Misty. She was always my favourite as the human characters go. But she was barely in this movie, to be fair. But I do like Misty from the show. So I'll go with Misty.
I mean, there's quite a lot of characters for such as like a film not about half of them. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like they're the core 3 that go through the series, but they have like no screen time.
But I don't know any of the other Poke trainers. Is that what they're called? Poke trainers?
Yeah.
With any of their names.
Just say Pokey in front of it, you'll be fine.
I guess.
Pokey shoes.
I don't know.
It's like McDonald's with Merc. Just put Pokey in it.
I guess the Team Rocket people, because they were just kind of ridiculous, sneaking around for unknown reasons. And then they got kind of Dr. Seuss at the end, where they are like rhyming.
I think I like Mewtwo the best. He's little stubby legs.
He had thighs like a Pixar mother. Like a female in a Pixar film.
Pixar mother Mewtwo. He's my favourite.
Would you say, since you saw this like 100 times when you were a kid, has your opinion, like, if your favorites remained the same, or did you like something better when you were younger?
What, like characters or?
Characters.
I think
first.
I think I just like Team Rocket more. They're just a bit of fun. Yeah. So okay, so let's rate our limes and lemons. So what do you think, Danielle? How many is it lemons? Do you think?
Lemons. This wasn't for me.
Every week.
I know.
This just wasn't for me. I understand how you have the nostalgia for it, and I understand the phenomenon, but not for me. And also as like a isolated feature film, it doesn't feel like that. So I gave it 1 lemon out of 5.
I gave it a 2.
Oh no. Okay.
I love the series. Like, I probably would go back and watch the series if it was on something. But this, as a standalone film, did not have enough going on to keep interest.
Well, I gave it like a 3.5, maybe a 4.
That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
Mine's the nostalgia factor. It's the fact that I watched it so many times. It's Mewtwo. He's the big legendary one, and yeah, the fight scenes weren't as good, but I remember the music, the score was good. The emotion of that little Pikachu crying his little heart out when he thinks Ash is dead. The tears, Pokemon tears, bringing them back to life. And then, yeah, I will say that the ending of them all losing their memories just makes the whole thing non-canon. So it's like, this didn't really happen, did it? So this film didn't need to happen because the main characters don't remember what happened. So what's the point? That's the only bit I might...
Is that so it wouldn't affect the show?
Yeah, it doesn't affect the show. It's just like, well, we'll just move on.
Yeah.
I just remembered this. So after all of the fighting, before the memory wipe, Mewtwo takes all the clones and that he's like, we're peacing out. Did that ever show up again? Was there like...
Yes. So they
Return
made...
of Mewtwo or the...
Yep. There's 2 instances that happen. The next, I think it's the 3rd or 4th movie. It's called Mewtwo Returns. So Ash and that find Mewtwo again. And
Wasn't this one like Mewtwo Returns?
this is Mewtwo
Yeah.
Strikes Back.
Oh.
It's all Star Wars. Return of the Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Mewtwo like
Phantom
sorts stuff
Mewtwo.
out. Yeah. So they see him again, and he kind of tells them, "Oh yeah, I remember me," and they're like, "No, not really." And then in the final like end of the whole sort of Ash saga, like because Ash's story's finished now. I think it finished like 2 years ago. They had like they find Mewtwo again and they have a fight with him and try and catch him, but he beats the shit out of them all and wipes their memory and flies away as he always does.
Look, I think it's always a win whenever something that you love as a kid, that you go back as an adult and watch it, and maybe it's not as amazing as you remembered as a kid, but it holds up somewhat. I think that's a win-win situation, and I'm always happy for people when that happens.
I think I just like seeing the Pokemon just shouting their names. That's one last bit. My favourite Pokemon actually saying their name is Vileplume. Because of his British accent.
Go on then. Do a
It's
rendition.
Yeah,
of Vileplume.
can you do your own renditions of your favourite Pokemon, please? My one was
No.
No.
Not my favourite. Charizard really doesn't do anything.
It's Vileplume. He's the best. Is that Vileplume?
Was that how he did it?
Vileplume.
Vileplume.
Vileplume. Vileplume. Bloody hell,
Was
it's
he in this one?
He's in
Vileplume.
like... He was, yeah, very small part in this one.
Yeah, Vileplume's in it. You can, now and then, it gets caught and it's going, Vileplume. It's like...
I was talking with Dave yesterday, and he made me watch this, like, it felt like it was an hour-long video of these Pokemon all just saying their names, and it just sounded like nonsense to me. It was just like, blah, 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 blah.
I heard it back on your phone when you was watching it. It's just them all like saying their names, like, and all this, and like, you're just going, what are they even saying? Like, what? And then you just hear, Vileplume. Right, okay, so that's the end of our Pokemon chat. It's the end of this series as well, right? Of our...
It is. It is the last one for Left on the D-pad.
But I think we had fun with this. I think we'll revisit this again sometime.
Yeah, there's
There's a lot
loads
of
gaming. Yeah.
God help
movies
us, it looks
that
like
need
there's a
to be-
bunch of Pokemon movies. If Dave
yeah, we've got
wants
loads to go through. But yeah, okay, so we'll leave it there and we'll put our Pokemon back in the Pokemon Center and we'll catch you all guys very, very soon. So I'll see you later.